Has anyone noticed how good comeback routes are? I know I haven't until now, and my opponents definitely haven't either. I mean, I can count the number of times I've been beaten by them on one hand alone. But when I break it down, it's probably the best route in Madden 18 for three reasons. Reason number one, it'll give us 15 easy yards against any defensive coverage, unless I'm missing something, which, it is possible, but I think I was pretty thorough on testing it. Reason number two, it is away from the user player, so we don't have to worry about him muddying up our reads. And number three, it's a hot route, so anyone can use it in their offense, provided they have a receiver split out wide rather than a compression set or something like that. So three great reasons for that. I won't ramble on too much longer. We'll get right into it. I'm going to show it out of Green Bay Packers pistol wide trips, but of course you can do it. You can do it out of anything almost. I am going to do a video on this formation probably right after this one. It's a pretty good formation. Not a lot of crazy good plays, but there's some interesting stuff here, particularly with this smash play and particularly with that go route from the tight end there. But if you're interested, definitely keep a lookout for that in the coming days. But we'll just use it anyway for this demonstrations here, and we'll go into. We'll start showing this with the Tampa 2. So this is a notoriously difficult defense to expose. I've always had difficulties with it. You got to find kind of unique routes like a speed out that I showed you before, or a certain forced outside release go routes, or maybe a drag route. But I think this is by far the easiest way. I don't understand why I didn't really come across it before, or why nobody's really been using it. All you need to do is just place that comeback route. I don't think this matters. Yeah, this doesn't really matter whether you're doing it to the field or the boundary. I think you don't want to do it to the solo side wide receiver, unless you're in this case and you can convert him to man coverage on the left there, in which case it'll work out. But I don't think it really works out if he's a solo and then you have proper cloud flat coverage play over there. So do it to the other side where there's at least three receivers. So I got a trips here, at least two. So you can do this out of a doubles look or a trips look. And what you're gonna do is, let's just go ahead and run it. Preferably you have a wide receiver with over 91 route running, but I have tried it with less, and you can get it in there. It's just a lot easier with that quicker break. So we'll show it. Okay, so 15 easy yards. Let's take a look at the instant replay. Obviously, it's going to be, it's not the quickest developing route, so it's not quick game. But, I think as long as you aren't coming up against really good pressure, so, if you're halfway decent at picking up the blitz, or if you're halfway decent at using the fake snap, or the fake hike, so that your opponent isn't in the aggressive pass rush. Okay, so if they're not in aggressive pass rush, I think you get something like 5 seconds or something like that, something ridiculous in the pocket. So you should have, you should definitely have time for this. Okay, so what'll happen is you'll come out, and then the cornerback, he kind of sinks, and at a certain level, he turns his hips and starts to run forward. But by that time, your wide receiver breaks, and you just throw that ball. It doesn't even need to be too much of a pass lead. I think you can just throw it to him, and then you just get that possession catch. So it's kind of unfortunate in one sense that you'll never be able to get, yards after the catch with this. But you're going to get 15 yards, maybe 16, 17 yards every time you run this, and then, added bonus in a 2-minute drill or something like that, you'll get out of bounds and you stop the clock. Okay, so let's. I think as long as you don't have like something like this underneath, I think it works out. So, even if you have a slant from Brown, I think it'll work out. Let's just show that. Yeah. Okay, so easy stuff. So against cover 2, there's really no reason you should run anything else. This is really easy stuff. So let's actually show it to the boundary. So it should work just as well. That time my receiver kind of got in my way, but I still made the play. Okay, so yeah, against cover two, always works. Let's try a few different variations of cover two just to show you that it doesn't really matter. And let's go back towards the field just because I always do like working with more space. And so let's try it with press coverage. Okay, so let's just get this guy out of the way. So against press coverage should work pretty much the same. Okay, that time I backed up too much with the quarterback. It was a really far throw, but it still worked out. Okay, good stuff. So against the press, it doesn't matter. So against hard flats, okay, hard flats. So you should be able to hit it over the top on a hard flat. So again, let's just get Antonio Brown out of the way. And once you see he doesn't sink, you just, okay, so, that'll develop. You'll need to develop the timing there. So if you see that he doesn't sink, I think maybe I just threw it too quickly. There you go. Okay, and maybe sometimes you can break that for a touchdown. So that might be something to look forward if you're on 3rd and inches or 4th and inches that you possibly have, you need to make that key first down. You're either going to have a guaranteed first down because, again, the cloud flat or anything like that is not going to be able to defend it. And if they're aggressive on the hard flat, you could get much more yardage. Okay, so let's try 2 more combinations. Let's try the base line. See if this kind of misalignment does anything. Okay, gets in position, turns his hips, and we're good to go. One last thing, the soft squat. Okay, so I think the soft squat makes it a bit tighter. So throwing to the field, I might not be able to fit it in here. No, it's okay. Okay, so if you are coming up against cover 2, this is the first thing you should think about. Okay, because you're going to get it every single time. Let me just show you what I was talking about before. If you're throwing to the solo side receiver, I believe you can't get it in. Well, first of all, we'll show you if they convert to man coverage, he'll carry with them, and if they do a pretty good job of man coverage, then that'll be tough. If they aren't converted to man coverage, I believe I'll show you how. See, he kind of just drifts right underneath it, okay? So that's just something you should definitely remember. Okay, so you can't really go to the solo side wide receiver, but if we motion out this guy for a doubles look, it should work out nicely. Yeah, that was kind of bizarre, but but you see that we can get it in there. So cover 2, check. Let's go to cover 3. So cover 3 works a bit differently. So you're going to have to get good at, first of all, deciphering the differences. So, if you see single high, obviously you'll know what to do. If you don't see single high, you might need to make a quick read to see how the safety split. We'll go smash, and we'll go to 4-3. And I want to make sure. That's okay. We'll just go to cover 3 Skypress. Okay, in this case, it's kind of strange. You have to go to the solo side wide receiver. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your solo receiver on the comeback route, and you're going to put a little swing route from your halfback. Okay, so once we put the outside linebacker in a cloud flat, which, almost everybody does, it should work out. So the only thing here is you got to kind of be patient. He's going to drift, but at a certain point, I think just how these cloud flats are programmed, at a certain point, they're going to forget about anything over the top, and they're going to break underneath. Okay, so that's why you need this swing route from the halfback. Okay, he should break. Yep, and we're wide open right there. Okay, time he dropped it, but you just got to be better on the possession catch. Let's actually just show it one more time. So I'll just show you we're in cloud flats here. Wait for that outside linebacker to break. Make that possession catch on the sideline for your free 15 yards. Only other thing, obviously, then, you don't have to think too much, because if they throw in a hard flat, doesn't really matter. It's going to be pretty much the same thing, except you're just going to have more room. If you are coming up against somebody, I've actually yet to come across this, but somebody that mixes in curl flats and cloud flats, you can put something on the other side. We know that against curl flats, or even if I left that corner route, you can do a corner route or out over there. You can even break off this comeback route a bit tighter, so it can be 10 yards or so. Just if you want to. You wouldn't want to do this against a cloud flat, but if you want to just break it off a bit quicker against a curl flat, you definitely have that option there. Okay, and I believe you can get this done to the boundary. Just want to double check here. So if I'm here, clouds, got the comeback and the swing, wait for it to break down, and we're good. Okay, so you can be to the field and to the boundary, and let me just show you, because I believe, it's an outside linebacker. I'll show you how it works with the safety running that cloud flat, because the safety has 91 zone coverage. Okay, he's going to break, and you're good. Okay, so cover 2 check, cover 3 check. Now cover 4 is kind of strange. I didn't know this up until now, but where are we here? Cover 4. Cloud flats in a cover 4 behave differently than a cloud flat in a cover 3. Believe it or not. Okay, so we're in smash here, and let's just go back to the field. Okay. So first of all, if you're coming up against like a total newcomer that's running, using the stock quarter flats, those quarter flats are going to bite on anything underneath, and this will work out. Okay, so you always have that option if you see that. But if they're a better player, they're running the cover 4 drop show 2, they'll have these cloud flats here. Now, if we do this, you'll notice that outside linebacker, that cloud flat, will not jump on the flat route. Actually, in certain cases, if they're so far away from the comeback route, you can still squeeze that in there. But yeah, it looks something like this. See, he never really goes all the way down, so he'll be able to make a pick on the ball. So yeah, in that case, if you're coming up against cover 4, just make a read. You see that linebacker is really way too far away, so a shorter comeback route, he'll never be able to make it there in time. So you'll be able to get those 10 yards every single time. Or you can work this wheel route in. Okay, so you'll have more room underneath. Okay, so he's drifting. He's going to be drifting. Oops. Do not outside pass lead that. Okay, so that's something you should remember. Although, if there's 2 hook curls in the middle, that might make it a little bit tougher. But okay, so you have that option. And actually, this will be better to the trip side. So if you totally clear them out, run your wheel there, see how much more room you have there. Okay, so then maybe if you make a defender or 2 miss, you get more than 10 yards there. Okay, so and really cover 4 is, at this stage of the game, it's so rare to see. But yeah, so definitely look out for that. That cloud flat will take that comeback route, but then that's just going to open up things underneath. Okay, so that's the comeback. I definitely want to see more of that from here on out. I don't know why. Like, really, the past few years, like, comeback routes have never really been used. I think because in general they haven't been able to get open, and B, they kind of took too long, but in this Madden, you have all the time in the world, and these zones don't seem to really react to it that well. So I know I'm going to be using it on almost every other play. So if they can't guard it, so be it. Maybe press man works, but I didn't really check that. I don't see anybody running that other than me lately. But anyway, yeah, that's that. If you have any questions about it, or if you have any, if you've been running it, let me know how that goes in the comments. And keep an eye out for the Packers Nano Scheme Part 3, where I'll go over some of the other things in this pistol wide trips formation. Okay, we'll see you in the next one.